Here are all the different services we provide. So we have ABA therapy, that's kind of our main thing. And we have in-home, we have center-based, and we also can do a hybrid of in-home and center-based therapy as well. Right now, we do not have a wait list for in-home. For our center, we have a wait for our morning hours, but we do have all of our afternoon hours available as well. So it's a 4 to 7 slot for our center. If you are interested in our center in the morning, an option is you can start in home and move to the center once there is an opening for those morning times. Another great thing that we do have available, we do have bilingual intake and clinical teams. So we have BCBAs, RBTs and BTs, and bilingual intake. We also have our intake documents in both Spanish and English as well. And then some other things that we do have available. We do have speech therapy at our centers. So we have 3 center locations. The one that would serve this area would be our Centennial one. It's right off of I-25 in Arapahoe. We also have some center in Westminster and Greeley as well, but probably a little bit further of a drive for most people. We do have parent training, although parent training is built into ABA therapy for us. It's a very important piece as well. We do have some parent training. With COVID, it has been put on pause, but hopefully we'll be able to resume next year with that. And we present on different subjects throughout the Denver area as well. So hopefully you'll be able to join that. And then we also have some groups available. So we have our Great Early Learners group that is for kids who are not quite ready for preschool or kindergarten, just helps them learn those skills. We have preteen groups. We have a great room in our center just for teens, social skills groups, and as I said, quarterly parent groups as well too that are currently put on hold, but hopefully we'll have them resume again after COVID. Next slide, please. And just as an idea of the areas that we serve most of Denver Metro. We're pretty far up north as well. And we go down into Castle Rock, Castle Pines, that area as well too. And as you can see in that orange area, you can see the location of our center too. It's just, as I said, right off of I-25 in Arapahoe. And if you have any questions, you can definitely contact me. I also put our intake phone number and intake email down below too, and you can reach out to them. Our intake team is available Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. But if you can't make that work, you can definitely send us an email and we can schedule something outside that time too. Our team is really great about making sure to schedule a time that works best for you. Another thing too as well that I forgot to mention, for ABA therapy, we can do therapy in home 7 days a week, including weekends, evenings and mornings, and then our center is open Monday through Friday. And that's it for me. Again, thank you again for having me.
Great. Thanks, Marissa, so much for presenting. Again, that was Autism Home Support Services. Next, we'll have Brain Code Centers. For those that are just checking in here and watching, your cameras and your microphones are off. We're going to go through all our presentations. Each presenter has about 2 to 3 minutes to present. We'll be taking all your questions in the chat, and then we will be addressing those at the end. Carly, whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much. All right. Hi, everybody. My name's Carly. I'm with Brain Code Centers. I am one of the owners of the clinic. We have 3 clinics across the Denver metro area. We have one in Denver Tech Center, Highlands Ranch, and then we have another one downtown. We specialize in a little bit different than just traditional therapy. We actually specialize in brain mapping and neurofeedback. A lot of people don't know what that is, and so I'm not going to talk a lot about the counseling piece of what we do, as I think most of you have a good understanding of what counseling is, and we provide pretty just general counseling at our clinics. But the brain mapping and neurofeedback is what really makes us unique. So the first thing I'll touch on is the brain mapping. Brain mapping is a procedure that is used to measure electrical activity in the brain, and that allows us to evaluate the parts of the brain that are overfunctioning and the parts of the brain that are underfunctioning. A lot of people will ask us, well, what does that even mean? What can you actually see from the parts of my brain that are overfunctioning and underfunctioning? And really what we're looking for is, how well do you bounce back from stressful situations? What are your focus and motivation capabilities? We look at ADHD diagnoses and figure out, are you on the right medication? Is medication even the right thing for maybe your kiddo or even for yourself? We can understand a lot about family dynamics. We are able to see sleep quality. We're able to see behavioral challenges. All of these different things we're actually able to see from a very objective source, the brain. Mental health is an interesting field because it's actually one of the only fields where we don't necessarily measure the organ that we're looking at. And so we love to partner with other therapists to be able to provide them this different objective view so that they can see, wow, that's what's actually going on within the brain. That is why they're having these challenges. That's why somebody's going through these struggles. So we love brain mapping for that reason. It completely tells us everything that we need to know from a treatment standpoint. And then we do neurofeedback therapy or get them scheduled for some sort of traditional counseling, depending on what is right for the person. We create treatment plans based off of those brain maps, and most people that come through our program go through some sort of combination of traditional talk therapy and neurofeedback. For those of you that don't know what neurofeedback is, basically it's a way of measuring and changing the optimal speed in your brain. Your brain has an optimal speed. We're trying to get it to function at that optimal speed for whatever task you're doing in that day. Maybe you need to be on top of things, finishing a task list of things. Maybe you're at work, or maybe you're at school and you're trying to get things done. You have to focus in that time. We actually can train the brain to be able to move in and out of these different brain states really quickly. And that's what neurofeedback is doing. It's using EEG sensors, which we're not inputting any sort of frequency into the brain. We're just recording what's happening, and then we're providing feedback to the brain about what it's doing. Your brain actually learns to make those changes with the feedback that we provide. The feedback looks something like a video, maybe music, maybe a game. There's lots of different things that are related to the type of feedback that is used. So that's a very quick explanation of what neurofeedback and brain training are. When you come in, we offer complimentary consultations, so you can learn all about it. It's 30 minutes. It allows you to ask all of the different questions that you have with Angie, who is our consultation specialist. You can reach us at rachel@braincodecenters.com or info@braincodecenters.com, or you can get on our website, braincodecenters.com, and you can see all of the different phone numbers for our different locations.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. For those that are also watching, on our online agenda, you can go to each session and also download any of the contact information or the slides or any of those information presentations that you're seeing now as well. That was Brain Code Centers. We're moving on to Gateway Learning Group, and I believe Maggie is presenting next. So Maggie, whenever you're ready, go ahead and turn on your camera and your microphone and let Kayla know when you're ready to switch slides. Thanks so much.
Thank you. We're really excited to be a part of this. Gateway Learning Group is an in-home ABA provider. We've been in the Colorado area for a year now, but are originally from California. So we're really excited to be out here. I've just hit my 1-year anniversary and I'm loving all the community aspects of this area, and we feel very fortunate to be a part of this growing developmental pathways resource community. So a little bit about Gateway, as it says on this slide. We work with children from birth really to 18, 21 who have autism or other related disorders. We provide in-home therapy and accept most major insurance plans. So here's a list of a few of them that we're in network with in the Denver metro area. We do have openings in Denver, and really excited to announce that we have openings in Colorado Springs too, but I don't know if any of you on the call are from that area. Since I'm newer to the region or newer to the area, defining Denver metro has been a little challenging for me. So we're as far south as Parker, Elizabeth, Castle Rock, and then north up to Broomfield, Lakewood's west. Anyway, still kind of getting the map of it, but metro area is pretty broad. Here's my contact information. If people have questions after, you can email me or call me directly. And you can switch to the next slide, that'd be great. So our approach to ABA therapy is really focusing on goals that are important to your family. We put a strong emphasis on involving caregivers in treatment, and we love collaborating with other providers and school teams to really make sure that what we're working on in the home is able to work across, and we can make changes based on what the school team does or maybe what your occupational therapist does, and collaborating with all of those different team members. At this time, we have both English speaking and Spanish speaking technicians that can go into the home and involve the whole family that way as well. We also have really strict health and safety guidelines that are linked here and you can find on our website that's allowed us to maintain our in-person services during this ongoing pandemic, and recognizing that we're certainly not out of the woods. And so as fall comes around, as flu season comes around, as maybe another spike happens with infection, our staff and our families are adhering to these guidelines to allow us to still serve your child in person. But as I mentioned, I think it's at the top of my screen, we do provide telehealth services as well. A lot of my supervision is telehealth, just so I'm not going into a bunch of homes every week. But if it would be safer for you and your family to have all of your services over telehealth, that's something we can do. But I know everyone's sick of looking at a screen and having services over a screen, especially with virtual learning. So we can be in the homes as well. And if you can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. Our website's going to be a really great resource page for families. We have events every month. We have webinars, different topics, these free 30-minute training webinars that are on all different things, and then consultations as well. So you can go to our consultation page to sign up for either an intake call or a consult in either Spanish or English. And that's it. Thank you.
Great, thanks Maggie so much for presenting. Again, that was Gateway Learning. For those of you who are watching, attendees, your mics and cameras are off, but if you have any questions, please feel free to drop those in the chat. We will touch on those at the end of all the presentations. Next, we have Shandy Clinic, which will be Christine Rogers. Whenever you're ready, Christine, please let Kayla know when you're ready to switch slides. For your viewing at home, if you want to go to view options, you can change it over to speaker view. That might help kind of lessen the amount of videos that you're seeing, so you can see the speaker as well as the slides that are going on. But Christine, whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much. You can go ahead to the first slide. That's perfect. So we are the Shandy Clinic, and we are an outpatient pediatric clinic. You can go ahead and go to the next slide. It'll be easier to explain what we do from here. We offer ABA therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech therapy services. So we have been open since 2007 when we were just itty bitty. Started actually with our owner, who's a speech therapist, doing therapy, going from home to home. So she likes to say speech therapy out of my car. To now we have 11 clinics across the Front Range serving families throughout. In addition to ABA, OT, PT, and speech, we also, you can click on the next slide, offer multidisciplinary autism evaluations. And this was really formed out of seeing a desperate need for our families who were finding, I'm on an autism evaluation wait list for a year or sometimes quite a bit more. And these families were just suffering in the meantime, waiting for that diagnosis. But we also saw a need that we don't just need a diagnosis, but need to make sure it's the right diagnosis. And so that's why we felt passionate about doing team evaluations. So we have a multidisciplinary team of a clinical psychologist, an occupational therapist, a physical therapist, and speech therapist. And basically we want to give these families the greatest confidence in their diagnosis, but also their treatment plan. So when they walk out of there, they feel like, I know what I'm doing as a team and how I can really help my child moving forward from here. You can go to the next slide. We also offer a variety of what we like to call services. If you want to see the full range of what those are, you can find them on our website under the services tab. Everything from sensory feeding groups for those picky eaters, or ortho PT for a child who's had a sports injury and needs to get back on the field, trauma-informed therapy, animal-assisted therapy. We've got lots of different specialty areas. But the one I want to draw your attention to, particularly in Aurora, is our aquatic therapy. So this is a special partnership we have with the YMCA over on Colorado and Yale. And so basically what we do is the Y is gracious enough to allow us to use their pool, and we use our therapists to work with our patients, offering again the same services, therapy services, but using the benefits that uniquely come from water. So we just really notice amazing transformation in these kiddos when we are working in the water. For some of them, it's because it's just fun and it's motivating and it makes therapy more enjoyable. And for some of them, we're seeing that the unique properties of density and buoyancy and even pressure that those children get really benefits as they're working on basically just different motor skills, straightening scoliosis, speech patterns. We've got all sorts of things that we work on in the pool. So that's a great tool to know about. And then the last slide, we just want you to know where we are located. We're over near 225 and Parker Road, and right across from the King Soopers there. But we accept all major insurances, including Medicaid, TRICARE, and CHP+. And the great thing is right now we have no wait list. If you're not keen in the midst of this crazy COVID season that we're in on coming into the clinic, we completely understand. We are adhering to the highest protocols of all CDC recommendations. However, we also have a great, easy, convenient teletherapy platform. And the great thing is our therapists have been using this for over 3 years. So our therapists, our families have a lot of practice at how to use this and how to make it really beneficial for those families at home. And we've seen some great success with that, because we're seeing not only is the therapist doing the therapy with the child, but now the mom and dad, the caregivers, are really becoming the hands of the therapist. So great options for you in the midst of COVID, and just come give us a check out. If you are interested in seeing a clinic, we're always welcome to do a virtual tour or meet with you in person with masks.
Great, thank you so much, Christine, for that presentation. That was Shandy Clinic. Soldogs. Zach, you will have the floor next. Please let Kayla know when you're ready to switch slides. Every presenter has 2 to 3 minutes to present, and we'll be taking questions in the chat. We will address those questions at the end of the presentations.
Hi, everyone. My name is Zach Landis with Soul Dogs, Inc. We had Who Let the Dogs Out playing to this slide, but it sounds like it's not playing. That's okay. We'll have our own dance party later on. Next slide, please. And I apologize. There's a lot of animations in here, so we will need you to continue to press these buttons. Today, we're talking about behavior services, though we did want to mention we do also offer day habilitation and employment services. Cindy?
So our behavioral staff is very friendly and compassionate, helpful, goal-driven, and of course, patient understanding. We think of ourselves as teachers and problem solvers.
Some of our participants have said that my therapist cares about me. I feel safer in my sessions when a dog is there. My therapist visits me at home. My behavior line staff helps me with my goals in the community, and my therapist knows me very well.
Next slide, please. Our behavior services run 7 days a week by appointment. We are available from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. We do provide in-home therapy, virtual e-meetings and teleconferencing, as well as in-person meetings. We do also provide services in Spanish and ASL translation. Next slide, please. This is Rowan. He says, if We Therapy Dogs can join your sessions to help you feel safer and more comfortable. Just ask us how. We are animal assisted therapy certified here at Soul Dogs Inc. Next slide, please.
So this is Sky. She's saying, what are your goals? Our behavior therapists will be there every step of the way to help you develop and achieve them.
Every individual in our behavior therapy program does receive an individualized service plan and goals that is monitored and tracked throughout the duration of their time here. We also provide behavior line staffing, which helps individuals meet those goals in community settings at a one-to-one basis. Next slide, please. And just a couple animation clicks. One, I think it's two more.
So I'm going to talk about the Family Life Center. So this is a fairly new program to Soul Dogs. We host meetings for families that are seeking support, building family skills, relationships, and understanding. Currently, we have a moms group right now that meets to discuss like topics around parenting and how to find self-compassion and love for themselves. Up and coming is parental education and support, coordinated activities with kids, group therapy. Everything is done from a trauma-informed care perspective. There's going to be children's therapy, social gatherings and outings, also DBT groups and survivor groups for victims of domestic violence.
Next slide, please. So those are our services. If you'd like to schedule a meet and greet, come meet our therapist or maybe even just meet our dogs. We would love to have you in. We would be happy to schedule an appointment. We are located in Westminster, but we can coordinate these meetings virtually or over the phone, however you prefer. Please note that if you do come in person, we do request that you wear a mask and follow all COVID guidance. And that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Zach, and I didn't catch the others that are presenting the Soul Dogs, but thank you for putting that in there. For those that are watching, on the online agenda, there is a way to download all the presentation slides as well as brochures or contact information there. The next person we have up is the Child and Family Therapy Center of Denver, Kaylee. Kaylee, whenever you're ready, please turn on your microphone and your camera and let Kayla know whenever you're ready to switch slides.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Kaylee Jeffrey. I am the lead child and family therapy supervisor with the Child and Family Therapy Center of Denver. We specialize in serving children with developmental disabilities, chronic illnesses, and terminal illnesses, as well as individuals with special needs. But outside of that, we also, do traditional therapy with youth and adults with anxiety, depression, and we have therapists who specialize in working with LGBTQ populations as well. Some of the services we provide are child and family therapy, which can include expressive techniques such as play therapy, sand tray therapy, and art therapy. We do also offer some animal assisted therapy, and we have one therapy dog on staff. Her name is Betty White. And then we do have a couple of other dogs that are in training actively to become therapy dogs as well. We offer traditional individual therapy with teens and adults, music therapy, which can include, but not limited to, singing, instrument play, movement to music, adaptive instrument lessons, lyric discussion and analysis, among other things. And this is usually just using some sort of musical intervention to meet non-musical goals. We also offer massage therapy as well as bereavement services. And then coming next month, we are really excited to offer psychiatric care and medication management. You can go to the next slide. All right. And then this is just a list here of the waivers and the funding sources we accept. You can see that list there. Medicaid, CHP Plus, Anthem, Blue Cross. We offer private pay services, and then a variety of waivers there. And if you are interested in scheduling or to inquire about services, you can call Carrie, our client services coordinator, right there at that number, or feel free to email if that's your preferred way to contact. We do offer a free phone consultation for any service if you just have more questions or want to discuss what it might look like with our agency. And you can go to the next slide. And then lastly here, this is just showing our locations. We have 2 offices serving the entire Denver metro area. One office is in Westminster at 120th and Pecos, and then the other is in Greenwood Village off I-25 and Orchard. Please note that right now we are serving primarily over telehealth and through the remainder of 2020 due to COVID-19. We do provide in-person sessions for massage therapy and then in situations where telehealth is not tolerated. And that's generally just decided on a case-by-case basis. And our in-home services are dependent on the location of the client's home. And I think that's everything I have. Thank you so much for having me.
Great, thank you, Kaylee. For all those presenters, if you're able to turn on your cameras real quick, we're going to head into the question and answer part of the session. One question is, if you can go ahead and share more about what other funding supports you have, and if you provide Spanish speaking or ESL support as well from your organization.
I'll just go, I guess I'll start.
Great.
Autism Home Support Services again. So we are in network with Medicaid and almost all private insurance. So that's how we work. We do have private pay available, but if that doesn't work for a family, we also have payment plans that is not income-based that will help with some of those bigger insurance payments if you don't have Medicaid as a secondary. And we have one that is income-based that helps reduce the cost as well. So we have a couple of different options for families. And yes, we have bilingual available, both our intake, our documents, and then our staff as well. We have multiple BCBAs and RBTs that are bilingual in English and Spanish.
Thanks, Marissa. I'll just go down the line. Brain Code, if you could answer those questions. We're talking about funding and if you have English as a second language support at your place.
Yeah, thank you. Unfortunately, we do not have any insurance, or we're not in network with anybody, but we are able to do super bills to allow people to bill towards their out-of-network benefits. We do try to be extremely flexible, and so when people come in for that complimentary consultation, we just try to understand the financial situation of the person coming in with us. We never want cost to be a reason that somebody does not train their brain, improve their brain, or get the assessment done. So we have a lot of different payment plans, income-driven plans, and different things that we do to make sure that it is cost affordable for whoever is coming to us. At this time, we do not have any bilingual services. We did have somebody who was able to speak Spanish, but unfortunately, she's no longer with us. So that is something we are working on implementing within our program.
Great, thanks, Carly. Gateway, Maggie, if you don't mind answering those questions.
Yeah, thanks. So we are in network with Medicaid and most of the major insurance payers. We're also in the process of our TRICARE. That's kind of the one outstanding that we're really excited to get in network with. And then as far as other languages, we do have intake documents and then our assessments and our ongoing treatment available for both Spanish and English speaking families.
Thanks, Maggie. Shandy Clinic.
Yes, so like everyone else, we also are taking Medicaid, CHP Plus, TRICARE, as well as all major other insurances. And then, of course, if you do need private pay, we can work a payment plan for your family. In addition, we do have the ESL support at all of our clinics.
Thanks, Shandy. Soul Dogs.
Hi, I'm Chris Anderson. I'm the director. Yes, we're on the SLS and the HCBS waiver. We also can take Medicaid, straight Medicaid, and Cigna, and some private pay. We have a bilingual service program here, which offers services to people speaking Spanish and also ASL.
Great, thank you so much. And then child and family therapy?
Yeah, so we take the CLI waiver, CES waiver, CHIRP waiver, the SLS waiver, and then Medicaid and CHP Plus, as well as Anthem and Blue Cross, and then private pay. And we can also provide a super bill for out-of-network insurance companies. And then we do not currently have therapists who are bilingual at this time. We do provide all of our intake documents in Spanish, but are still actively looking to hire a bilingual candidate.
Great, thank you so much. The questions for those were what funding was taken and if there are, what kind of English as a second language supports are available per program. Allison, I will give you the floor. If there's any questions that were sent in the chat, we can open those up now.
Yes, thank you. There was one, and I believe it was answered by just a couple of panelists. However, for the recording purposes to view later, we wanted to go ahead and put it out on the platform. The question is for all panelists, just specifically what age groups do you serve? And I guess it could be to whoever wants to kind of go forward and answer it.
Yeah, we'll go.
We're soul dogs. Our behavior services we serve, we have CES funding as well as HCBS and SLS. So our clientele is adult, but we do also serve adolescents through end of life care.
I can go next. Autism Home Support Services. We, for Medicaid, 0 to 18, but with private insurance, we can serve adults as well. So we've worked with anyone from that first diagnosis all the way. We've gotten approval up till 26, but if someone is older, we can always check with the insurance and see if we can serve them with ABA therapy.
Thank you. Carly, we can't hear you. No. Does somebody else want to go in the meantime? Maggie?
Whoever.
Or whoever. Maggie, go ahead. Okay. I was just going to say at Gateway, we're similar to Autism Home Support Services. So the same rules apply with 0 to 18 for the Medicaid. And then we as well have gotten commercial insurance to approve. I think our oldest was 22. So very similar there. Great, thank you.
Shandy Clinic, we are primarily, again, serving clients from 0 to 18. However, with OT, PT, speech, we're able to kind of cover the full spectrum of ages.
Haley?
Yeah, we also pretty much cover the full spectrum with Medicaid 0 to 18. It really depends on the service that's being accessed as far as what ages to start with. So massage therapy tends to work with a lot younger, sometimes even infants. And then with child and family therapy, usually the youngest we see is around 3 up to 100, depending on the funding source and the need.
Thank you. And then Carly, did you want to try again? No, I'm sorry. If you wanted to go ahead and put in the chat the age, and I can go ahead and just respond out loud to the recording.
Carly, this is Andrea. I just tried to unmute you. I don't know if that helps, but if you want to try one more time. Shoot, I don't know what's going on. Not sure what's happening. They serve anywhere from age 4, and we can hopefully get them to sit still all through adulthood. Thanks, Carly. That was the answer for brain code and how the age group they serve as well. That concludes our question and answer time and presentation, unless there's any other questions that are coming in.
Not on this end.
Thanks, Allison. In that case, for those that are watching, this was our presentation on providers that provide therapy services. You can find all their information, their slides, their brochures, and contact information on our landing page online that has the agenda. For those of you that want to stick around, panelists, you're welcome to exit out and use that same link to come back in as an attendee. Our next session will start at 1 o'clock and we'll be hearing from respite providers. So we'll see you then, and yeah, talk to you soon.